of Think About It Thursday, where we give you guys a little something to think about to help your cats live longer, healthier, and happier lives. I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian.
And together we are
the two crazy cat ladies. Happy Thursday, you guys.
Happy Thursday. Today's episode is all about introducing cats. It's been the number one question that we have received in our Q&A sessions on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Well, I don't know, litter's closed.
Over the past like couple months. We've been getting so many questions up. I want to bring in and it's kitten season, right? So a lot of people are now introducing new cats into their home. And there is a tried and true way. We did not invent this. Those that came before us invented this. The beautiful feline behaviorists have formulated and figured out over years of testing on the best way to peacefully introduce a new kitty into your home. So we're literally just here to break it down into 5 beautiful steps and easy steps for you.
Yeah, and I want to say we're going to go through those steps pretty quickly, but I think that this is something that's really passionate for us because we didn't know these steps.
Nope.
And we've made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Yep.
And I think if you've been through a situation where you've introduced a new kitty into your home, you know what an exciting time that is. But sometimes we neglect to consider our existing family members. And that's something that we really want to emphasize. So
yes, so we're going to start with the 5 tips with the 5 steps of how to introduce a new kitty into your home or new cats into your home. And then we're going to give you some bonus tips at the end that are going to really set you up for success for those of you guys that are going to be bringing in a new cat or are already currently bringing in a new kitty into your home. So let's just get started.
Secrets for success.
First step. What's the first step?
First step is, you guys, when you're getting ready to bring a new baby home, prepare a sanctuary area.
Yes.
So we use a guest room that we have. We are blessed to be able to have a guest room. And we made sure that, especially if you're bringing in kittens, that it was kitten proof. We want to have all of the things that are enriching for our cats. Their resources are all there. They can feel safe. Is this your visual demonstration?
These are my visual demonstrations. So this is the existing kitty, okay? Very colorful, already know their personality. This is our I don't have 2 stuffed cats. Believe it or not, we're the 2 crazy cat ladies and we only have 1 stuffed cat. So if you guys want to send us your stuffed cats.
Don't do it.
No. But for, props cases, sure. But this is our existing kitty, okay? This is the new kitty coming into the house. We want to prepare a sanctuary, a place for that. We say it's sanctuary, but that sounds kind of bougie. We don't mean bougie. We mean a separate space to keep them separated. So when we bring in our new kitten, they're going to be in a carrier. We're going to put them, we're not going to introduce them immediately to the new cat. We are at first going to put them into a separate place, right? So this kitty's in this room and this kitty is roaming the house as they always do.
And when I mean sanctuary, I do mean that they have all their resources to feel confident. Their
litter
boxes, their food, their water, their vertical space.
Yeah.
Things that will make them feel, ideally they come with something that has a familiar scent on them that you can kind of scent swap in that room so they can feel like, okay, I can feel comfortable and secure here.
Yes, if they have a blanket that they came from the shelter or something like that, or a box even, but bring that into their safe space so they have something with their scent. If at all possible, they have something with their scent on it. Ideally, we're also going to have a room where they can have access to look outdoor, explore, and climb, right? So if you have a cat tree or something like that.
Whoa!
Wow.
Hey, Friday.
Yeah, here we go. So that's step 1. Keep them separate. This is going to take a different time depending on different steps, but that's just step 1. Keep them separate.
Speaking of scents, though, the moment that you bring a new family member into your home, your existing family will know they are there.
Yes.
So this is why it's really important. While there is no visual threat, where you can start introducing each other's scents to each other in a very non-threatening way. So that means
number 2.
This is step number 2. So take the blanket from the new baby and put it in.
This is this baby's blanket, and this is this baby's blanket. What we're going to do is, Friday's already got the blanket. So we're going to swap the blankets. And we're going to put so that they can smell is so important to cats, guys, more than we ever knew before. It is so important to our cats. So we want to swap those blankets. Friday's not going to let me, but we want to swap those blankets or a toy if they have, a favorite little toy that say your current cat is using. One thing that we did is we used one of our cat trees when we first introduced the last 2 additions that we added to our home, or 4 basically, but 2 at a time. We took one of their cat trees that they didn't really use a lot, but they slept in. And we put that in the kittens' room, so they are getting used to the new smells of the home. Right.
Yes.
Step 3.
Number 3 is let's do a site introduction. And this is something that we want to do with a safe barrier in place.
Yes.
So we used baby
gates. So baby gates are a great way. Now, obviously, if you have kittens, this needs to be done under supervision. Most cats can jump over this. We got 2 or 3 of these. And we still did it under supervision where they could see each other, but we were able to keep them from touching each other. Lots of people that are like really handy in our community will build screen doors that like temporary screen doors. That's brilliant. We're not that handy. But a way for them to be able to see each other, but not actually touch each other.
And I do want to say that this is not at all in any way an unsupervised time. This is definitely a period where when we did it, one was in the kitten room and one was outside, so that we were both being considerate of the cats on each side, and we're ready to distract them with fabulous toys or some kind of positive reinforcement, or close the door if need be.
Yes.
But that's going to be a very
And I'll tell you, at first they're going to come up. The existing cat is going to come up, and they're going to see this new cat, and they're going to.
Quite possibly.
And that's okay. Don't stress out about that. Okay. That's part of the process. When they see something new, like a new being, another feline in their home, they might get a little defensive and hiss. That's fine. That's why we do this in short increments where they see each other, but they can't touch each other. And that's why there's that barrier. Okay.
Right. Once they're comfortable with that step.
Yes. We move on to step 4, which is feeding them together where they can see each other, but cannot touch each other. So then we put up this baby gate. Or 2 or 3, and it's easier because it's feeding time, so they're not going to be trying to jump over it. We want to feed them both next to each other. Now, what we did was we had the barrier up, and we fed this cat over here and this cat over here, right?
They're not next to each other like this.
Not like this.
Mm-mm.
No, it was more like this, and then we'd slowly. As we did this, maybe it was every day, maybe it was every other day, but we would slowly move them a little bit closer and a little bit closer, still not nose to nose, but where they were comfortable eating, because eating is a very rewarding time for our cats, right? So it's something that we want to associate. Seeing the new cat and eating at the same time is a good thing.
Right, like a positive experience. But it's also worth noting that mealtime can often be a vulnerable time. You have lots of cats are by nature solitary hunters. A lot of them are solitary eaters. So we want to take this at your cat's pace, right, Jack?
Yes. And here's the food bowls.
Sorry. Oh yeah, nice props. She is all prepared. So that's why you really want to be considerate during this time. Dr. Marcy Koski, Jackson Galaxy, some incredible feline behaviorists that are out there, Cat Behavior Alliance. They will help with understanding your cat's body language. So you really want to be observing how everyone's taking everything in at this time.
Yes. And the last step number 5 is we want to start giving them supervised playtime together, right? So you got to know your cats. You have to know this cat, how much can this cat take? And as you're getting to know this kitty, you need to know how much this kitty can take, right? So supervised playtimes. We take down that barrier. We let them start to sniff each other. They're going to sniff. They might hiss. They might run away from each other. They might come back. Never let them, of course, jump into a huge fight. But if you've gone through all the other 4 steps and you've done it in a timely manner, meaning let's do this, let's take our time, then this last step should be pretty easy to get you to the point where they can live coincidentally. I don't even think that's a word.
I'm not.
They can live together.
Cohabitate happily.
Yes.
Well, and I want to say, when it comes to supervised playtime, I do think that supervised play, so something that we did with our little ones when we were introducing them into the home, we started playing with them in their room. We opened the door, and the other cats are able to observe. Their attention is on the toy.
Yes.
It's not necessarily on each other. And that is a really great way to start that supervised playtime.
Positive reinforcement. Now let's give you a couple. We're going to give you, those are the 5 steps to introducing new cats.
Bonus tip time.
Bonus tip time. This is very important. When you have existing kitties, a lot of times it is really easy when you have a new one, especially if it's a little kitten or just a newbie in your house. You want to give it extra special attention, and that is a good thing. Give them extra special attention, but for every minute of extra special attention you give to this kitty, give also to this kitty. Right? Confidence building sessions, link is in our bio on our website to go to see how to do a confidence building session. Helps greatly during this process, because if this kitty feels unthreatened. They do not feel threatened by this new bee in the home. If this kitty feels like they still own the space that they live in, then that this whole process is going to take a lot less time.
Well, and I do want to say that with us, our introduction periods took very long.
Yeah.
For our last 2 sibling sets that we introduced into our existing home with older kitties, it did take a good
6,
amount of
7,
time.
8 months even. We took a long time, but we did that because we listened to our older kitties, our existing kitties. And while the 4 young ones were able to coexist and they were together every day during step number 5, they were able to do this every day for a long time, for months. Our older kitties took a little bit longer. We listened to our older kitties as to when we could go about and let them free and let them roam together.
Really important point for our existing kitties as well, to make sure that they know that their routine is the same, that their resources are all safe. Nothing changes in their shared space that they are used to. And that's really important. And I think Pam Johnson Bennett, Dr. Karen Becker did a great interview with her. If you guys want a bonus interview to watch, go to Cat Extravaganza Week, Mercola Healthy Pets, and look at that, helping cats get along. That is really an insightful time with an incredible feline behavior.
Yes. Is that bonus tip number 2?
Gosh, yeah, there's so many bonus
behaviors.
tips.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys, and I think that a lot of us have done this, and this is how we learned these steps, was we've made mistakes along the way. And we learned from Dr. Marcy Koski a lot of these. We've also learned with Jackson Galaxy. So when you find yourself in a situation where maybe you're on the step number 5, but we're having issues, maybe we go back a few steps.
I just remembered the bonus tip number 2, and it's actually the most important bonus tip, is you yourself have to stay calm. You have to be confident in this process. This is a tried and true process. You have to be confident in the process, and you have to keep your anxiety calm. Don't worry when you go to that introduction process. Don't worry when you go to that let them see each other but not touch each other process. You have to stay calm. If you have to meditate, listen to calming music, whatever it is, if you stay calm, this process will work so much smoother, so much better, and you will have a happy and peaceful home.
Wait, just one more thing. Please just prepare yourself also to be as patient as needed for whichever cat is having the hardest time adjusting. Make sure that this is not a difficult experience.
And go on their time schedule. Yes, absolutely.
Not what yours is.
Yes, exactly. So thank you guys. That's going to wrap up Think About It Thursday. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be live shortly for our podcast. And if you guys have any questions, just reach out. We love you guys.
Love you. Happy